main character's name is like Shane, but like the concept is the concept is the same. So basically, it brought a new dynamic to zombies. Just kind of like Warm Bodies did, where it was like zombies are actually conscious and they can do everything that a normal human can. They just can't want to have kids, and they have to eat brains in order to stay who they were, pre-zombie transition. And it was just like this new fresh take on zombies that I enjoyed because every zombie I was seeing was, I just like the zombie completely was just like stupid. There was no other function of the zombie other than to get like killed or eat one of the main characters. So a zombie was fun and original because here's a sentient zombie who is also solving murders because she can see inside the victim's like memory. So I thought it was pretty cool. And I liked how I also liked how they treated the main character because sometimes they would have their characters call her out, where like sometimes it was like you're being like really like this personality, this brain you're eating, like is it you or is it like the personality, like who's talking here? And I thought that was super interesting because Liv sometimes, got so grandiose in her mission about solving murders that it cost her like a relationship. It cost her like a few things because she put solving murders and stuff above like familial bonds. And so, like, there's a at the end of season one, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen it, but this zombie, basically this zombie, like, really fancy place gets blown up, because it was a front for kidnapping and stuff, and it gets blown up because Major was a social worker, and he was convinced that they were killing, like, his kids, and it ends up blowing up and stuff, and Liv's brother, unbeknownst to her, had applied for a job there. And so he was in the area about to drop off his application when, like, the place blows up. And she's a zombie at this point. And she's like, so she sees, she's like, oh my god, my brother's going up. And her mom is there at the hospital. And they're like, "Oh, Evan needs your blood. You're a donor. You're O positive, or you're like a universal donor. Like, give him your blood. You'll be fine." And her mom doesn't know that she's a zombie. And so at the end of the episode, she goes, "No." And so it leaves you on a cliffhanger where she ends up doing stuff, that like is not great. It's not like, you would expect her to be like, oh, I'm a zombie or whatever, because she tells in the second season premiere, she's like, even if I had agreed to give my blood, I would be turning my brother into a zombie. But also, the minute I would try to give blood, the CDC would like lock me up because she wouldn't have a pulse. And so, like, she would have been captured, so she took the route of seeming like an asshole because it cost her mom, it cost her brother. They think that, like, she left him to die because he would have died had a doctor not been on duty that also had the same blood type. So you have a main character who's not always in, like, seen in like the best of light, who also puts things, her secret, and she only reveals her secret to Clive, the police officer she works with, because Major's about to get, Major gets locked up, and he tries to give him brains through a protein bar. Well, his lawyer ends up eating the protein bar. that she had made for him that had brains in it. And he gives him this regular old candy bar that doesn't have brains in it. And so Major is like, hey, so if I don't get brains soon.
Yeah, that's that interesting guy name that he has. Is his first name Major? Really?
Yes. And what's really weird is that I grew up around like a lot of like government workers and military people. So when I first saw this show, he was like, "Oh, my name's Major." And I'm like, "Major what?"
Yeah.
Like, what is? And he's like, "No, his name's Major." But yeah, no, iZombie is like an interesting premise. And since then, we've gone like warm bodies, we've gone like fighting predators and zombies. But like, I don't know, it's such an interesting concept because The Walking Dead, I swear to God, just like oversaturated itself in I think the worst way. Because they found out that like zombies were mildly interesting to the public, and then they just did like 11 seasons.
Yeah.
Like they just oversaturated their own market to the point that like now we're excited about vampires and witches again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so interesting. I always thought Walking Dead was kind of boring up until Negan showed up, which is usually around the time like the show got way too dark for a lot of people to watch. Because for some reason like Walking Dead was like a family show, and then when Negan came on, it got too gory. But I was just like, oh man, like this kind of raises stakes and changes things in an interesting way. Yeah.
This thing also was that people were like, "Oh my God, Glenn doesn't have to die," and I'm like, "He doesn't," but he dies like the moment Negan shows up. You know Glenn's gonna die because Negan killed him. So it's kind of like, yeah.
Put it on the wrong fucking pad.
But also the funny thing is like Negan is one of the first people that well, not one of the first, but he's one of the few who have been able to remain a villain. From what I've seen, he is able to retain villain status, which I think is interesting because so many characters, like you'll have villains, and somehow by season fucking 3, they're redeemed. I don't know how, I don't know why, but they end up like a anti-hero. The Flash did this with Killer Frost. Like they had her become. I mean, the way she became Killer Frost also was kind of stupid. But like, once she was like Killer Frost, I was so excited that she was gonna be like a permanent villain, you know. And then by the end of season 3, as soon as she becomes Killer Frost, she goes, "I don't know who I want to be. I don't know if I want to be Killer Frost. I don't know if I want to be Caitlyn," and like goes off.
Yeah, but The Flash is a masterclass in how not to write a show.
No, but like you know, you have these, and it's not just like this is like. I'm using Caitlyn as an example because at the beginning of season 3, not just the beginning, but like at like the few first like I think by episode 3 or 5 or something, you get hints that she has powers. And so it's so exciting because you're like, oh, now she can turn into the Killer Frost that we saw in season 2 on a different Earth. And so she starts to slowly get these powers, and then as soon as she becomes Killer Frost, maybe like 2 or 3 episodes later, or something, or like maybe not even, she didn't have the powers for very long.
I got a tall nut. I got tall nuts.
Oh my god. And then, so then as soon as like she is like getting comfortable in her villain identity, they defeat Savitar, and she goes, "I don't know who I want to be." And so it's very disappointing because you set her up to become Killer Frost. you have her go through these changes, and just as she's settling in to like that villain persona, you're like, nope, redemption arc immediately. Like
Yeah.
you immediately take that away when you have been building up to it, and then you like she's finally getting comfortable in because like it was just irritating that then she was like, oh, she becomes like this this anti-hero, this like, you know, I don't know, it ruined her character because just as like she was starting to get interesting and starting to have like this conflict of interest with the team, they're like, oh, we can't have her actually being a bad guy, so we're gonna retcon it as soon as possible.
For
Because
sure.
then,
No one's cool on that show.
well, because then in season 4, you find out that she's been a fucking bartender and like being a Killer Frost muscle to this like gang leader named Amunet. And it makes no fucking sense because it's like you gave up being a villain for a bartending gig.
Yeah, the fuck? I'm gonna have some of this good chocolate. This good jalapeno chocolate.
That's how you
Wait! Wait! The zombies in here sound kind of a little,
yeah.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah, Harley! Yeah.
Oh yeah, daddy. Oh yeah, daddy.
I'm talking.
Well, you better do that softly in the background.
No, never. No. I am a zombie with pants. Fighting a gardener with plants.
I'm eating my ass in the sand.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Me flat.
It's what? Oh, you absolute goddamn whore.
You absolute whore! You're the only one who likes that, and it's always embarrassing every time.
That I only like it?
Everyone always looks confused when I do it, and they're like, yeah, wow, it's funny, he just growled whore,
I think it's funny. Cause you like go unnecessarily hard and so it's fun. You make it like all deep voiced and shit.
Yeah.
And I find it hilarious that like you basically like are Batman with it.
I love that. You're so young, YouTube, it's so cute. Because I'm pretty sure I might have gotten it from this one old guy on YouTube named, and he called himself this. He was called Tourette's Guy, and the whole thing was that he like just swore and cursed a lot. And I don't know if he had other things going on wrong. It seemed like his family was like picking on him, but like he would just like swear a lot, and he would just say stuff like, "Don't talk shit about Total," which was like a cereal at the time called Total. And then like just like random stuff. I gotta show you Tourette's Guy. Classic YouTube.
It was on classic YouTube.
That is, remember way back when on like old YouTube, like one of the first few videos to ever come out was some dude yelling at his cats and chasing him around his house. Remember that one? Like he would say stuff like, "You bitch! I'm going to rape you!" Like he would say that to his cats, and then they would just like look at him weird and then like run away and dart across the entire house.
Well, I don't remember that one. I remember Shoes. I remember.
Oh yeah, from Kyle Sullivan or whatever.
I remember Shane
Kyle Sullivan or
Dawson.
something.
I remember PewDiePie. I remember Smosh.
I'm chewing on chocolate.
Oh, how grandiose you are.
No!
How grandiose you have become.
Oh my god. Well no, I mean those are actual personalities and stuff, and yeah, those, man, how the mighty have fallen, huh? Although I do love the Brandon Rogers renaissance. What's bringing him back into the limelight these days? Also, is he like gay or bi?
Gay.
What?
He's gay.
Okay, because he says the F slur, and I'm like, there's no way, like, he can just say that, you know, if he's like straight, like.
No, he's gay. He came
Okay,
out.
I was wondering. That's the only thing that caught me off guard, by the way. Like, was just him saying the F slur so much.